wire Damascus. I'm gonna take this, dip it in oil. Basically, this oil works as a flux. Flux? Yeah, basically keeps the oxygen off the blade. And then I'm gonna stick it in the furnace and let it heat up for a while. I'll be right back. Back. Might need the borax. Not sure though. Might be useful. Let's see if this stream does as well as the last stream I did. I streamed for about an hour, got about 7,000 different people joining, so let's see if we can make this stream as good as that one. Also, does this add too much light? I don't think it does. I need that door open because it's kind of just warm in here, not very nice. Forging cable wire Damascus, by the way. We're just heating it up right now. It's still I didn't put it in the porch very long ago. I have my furnace too low. I'm making, Francisco Very, am I making Damascus? Yes, I am making Damascus. Well, sort of. It's more of a cable wire Damascus, so it doesn't actually have multiple different layers of different steels, but I will burn off the carbon on the outside of some of the wires, which will give me a little bit different coloring when I go to etch it. Francisco Ball, hello there, nice to meet you. I actually will get the stump of wire that I made this cable wire out of to show you guys. Okay, y'all. This is the piece of cable wire I made, got. Oh, more people. I don't, Muhammad, hi. Kenneth, Fasith, hi. Tessa Long, hi. Wait. I think I know who Tessa Long is.
I think so.
Rylan Modex, thank you very much. I think I know who those people are.
Couple of them, anyway.
Couple of them. I recognize some of you guys. It's surprising, but I have a real life too, you know? I don't know why I just said that on a live stream with like 70 people watching me, but I'm going crazy. I'm putting borax on this, which basically makes it it's a flux. So it keeps the oxygen out of it. I just need to make sure I get it on all sides. And also, I don't think you're supposed to be breathing those fumes. Wait, that's not water. Huh?
Your fire thing.
Say that again.
Fire thing. Straight across.
Oh, while we're waiting on this, I want to show you guys something that I got that I am very excited for. I've wanted one of these things for an extremely long time. So, here. This right here is, one moment, this right here is my new Broadbeck 2x72 bell sander. It's got a 2 horsepower motor. It's got a variable frequency drive for different speeds and on and off. 100. And big surface work area. It grinds extremely fast. I've definitely wanted one of these for like ever, basically since I got into forging, and I finally got one. I am very, very excited about that. So, cannot wait to actually use it on a real project. Let me set you back where you go, which should be something around here. John Collins, a lot of safety violations here. No worries, I won't tell. Thank you, John. Don't know what the safety violations are, but thank you very much. Oh, wait, I think I actually know. There we go. Am I now being safe? Is this what you're talking about? I probably should be wearing these anyway. I think I'm now safe. Thank you for your concern. Where did my tongs go?
They're hanging up.
It is so hot. So, fun fact, borax actually melts the brick in the forge. Fire bricks do not like it when borax gets on them, because when borax gets really hot, it turns into like a glassy coat and covers the floor, which is not ideal. But basically, for some reason, when you get molten borax onto a fire brick, it makes the fire brick melt, and I don't know why it does that. So I have 2 ruined fire bricks at the bottom of my forge that I really should replace someday, eventually.
Use them for when you're doing Damascus.
wanted to make. I made this thing. This is a thing that goes in the hardy tool. The hardy hole. No, sorry, it's a hardy tool. The hardy hole. Okay. Test along how hot is the forge. And it's about a 2,700 degree forge, so it's probably about 2,700 degrees in there. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce your name, but hello. Wait, should I try to pronounce your name? No, that's not English. I'm not gonna try to pronounce that. But I'm recognizing your existence. That's good enough, right? That is so hot. That's insanely hot, guys. It's getting pretty close to being. It's getting pretty close to being able to take out and actually forge, which I'll put this where you can see it. Woo! Those tongues are hot. Also, the reason I'm not wearing gloves, by the way, I know some of you are probably wanting me to wear gloves, but a big reason I'm not wearing gloves is because when I start forging something, scale flings up and hits all over my arms. But when it gets down inside the gloves, it actually sticks to my skin and melts to my skin, and I can't get it off because I have gloves in the way. I have I don't know if you can see it, but I have 3 spots on the back of my hand that are kind of like that permanently now because I got scale behind my gloves and it burned into my hand. So I am being safe by not wearing gloves. It's safer not to wear gloves than it is to wear gloves. It's getting close. John Collins, wear loose gloves for that reason. Well, my gloves are a little bit loose, but it still kind of traps them in there. Highwoods Ironworks. What am I forging? I've had the same forge and I'm forging a big Bowie right now. It's my second knife I'm forging. Okay, that's actually really exciting. Currently I am taking a few inches of this cable wire Damascus right here. Well, this is not the Damascus. This cable wire and turning it into Damascus. So basically, I took this, cleaned it up, twisted it tighter, and stuck it in the forge after welding the ends off. Hello and hello. 2 more people join the stream. I think we're this close to being able to actually weld it. I'm very excited. Close it up, I get more of the heat trapped inside. No, okay, so Highwoods Ironworks, I currently do not have any ideas for what I'm going to be making this into, but I'm open to their suggestions actually, so if you have a suggestion you can comment it and I'll think about it at least. Crazy by talking over there. There is a person over there, but she just doesn't want to be in the live stream. So there is actually a person I'm talking to. I'm not just talking to myself. I think it's this close, but I do not know for certain. Oh, Thank you, John Collins. Yeah, I do have a respirator. I have this one, which kind of works, but it's really, really, really hot to wear. It's already hot in here. But as you'll see, I have a huge open garage door. And then I have the side door. And over here I have a fan. Oh my goodness. I have a fan that is blowing all the stuff out. So, oh, that was wrong direction. Yeah. No, so I'm not in any danger at all. Okay, Highwoods Ironworks. I'm a bladesmith primarily. Yes, yes. I make mostly blades. That's what I primarily focus on. How about a crescent moon knife? Ouch. I will have to look up what that is actually. Okay, so the piece in the forge right now is probably about that long. Probably about that big, but that's still a pretty decent chunk. Maybe about that big. Time to forge weld. Let's see what happens. I do use a lot of flux. Yes, I do. Running the furnace hotter than I really ever do. So the smoke alarm's going off. Okay. How many blades have I made? A rough guess will do. Quite a few. I've not made thousands or even hundreds, but I have made a good decent amount. I'd say probably 50 blades around about. I'm not an amazing bladesmith, but I'm probably about intermediate level. So probably something around 50 blades. Let's tuck it back in the forge so we can get it back up to heat treatment temperatures. Something I forgot to do is you need more flux every time you forge it. Matteo Rastgu. Hello. I think I butchered that name, and I'm very sorry. Thank you, John Collins. Highwood Ironworks. Nice to see someone in the early stage of their career. Did you learn primarily via online resources? Yes. Yes, I did. So I don't really have anybody that I know that actually is in depth in like the actual bladesmithing or blacksmithing at all. I know a few people that do a little teeny bit, but not very many. So basically, I just learned off of YouTube. Basically, where anybody else learns anything. Yeah, that's basically where I learned. I watched an insane amount of bladesmithing videos. Many hours sitting in front of a screen, watching people make knives and give tips on how they make the knives. Yes. Very excited to actually put all my knowledge into some metal. Tom Gunter, are you going to try your hand at making some Japanese blades? Maybe. I may try to make a Japanese style chef knife because they look fairly simple-ish, or maybe even a katana. So I thought a katana would be really cool to make, but I don't have the skill, and I'm not 100% sure how to heat treat one without a kiln. So maybe, but probably not anytime soon. Hey look, there's 200 of you guys on. That's my new record. I think my previous record was about 130. This is actually the only third piece of Damascus I've ever tried to make before. So it could go horribly wrong. But it also could go perfectly great. Hello. Highwood's Ironworks. That's actually really great to have somebody like that tell you. I kind of wish I had somebody that knew what they were doing to tell me. Matthew, nice to see you. Okay, so John Collins, the largest blade I made was probably an elven blade. Actually, I can show you. I have it right here. So, this is the largest blade I've ever made. It's an elven styled blade, very simple, no actual etching designs on it because I didn't know how to do that when I made this thing. But this is probably the biggest one. It has a walnut handle and just kind of elven shape to it. And just kind of like what I saw one of the elves have in one of the movies. What's the heaviest hammer I swing? That would be, most commonly that would be this one. It's a 4-pound hammer. Not too heavy to actually manage, but it's fairly heavy enough to move a lot of steel. John Collins, thank you. Highwood Ironworks, what does my grinder look like? I'll bring that over to you and show you. So this is my grinder. This is my 2x72 broadback belt grinder. Just got it actually like 2 days ago. So Yeah, has variable speed. So this is what my grinder looks like. A bit on the pricey side, but definitely worthwhile if you're actually getting deeper into this type of stuff. Might be time. Guys, this should be a solid piece of steel. I guess I'm just gonna keep forging it and see what happens. Let's try to weld it one more time just to make sure. Okay, how it works. Yeah, I actually thought like this much about making my own, but then I realized I had no idea how to do that, so I went along and just purchased one. Definitely, some of the handmade grinders can be a lot better than the modern ones because you can have it to be how you want to, but the new one's just what I ended up getting. I keep forgetting. So, Howitz, I actually have a question for you. Since you said you're a bladesmith or blacksmith, what is the coolest thing that you think you have made? I'd be actually interested to know. That forge is very hot. Probably my current biggest project, a hand-forged wakizashi made from W1 steel with a 36 centimeter blade. Okay, that's actually pretty cool. I've never actually made a wakizashi. So, let me look up a wakizashi. I know the basics of what a wakizashi looks like, but let me just look it up. I think this old phone is frozen. Oh, there we go. It's getting close to hot. Not gonna lie, I have no idea how to spell that. Oh, I got it. Oh, yeah, those look actually really cool. A little more stubby on the stubby blades, but yeah, they actually look really cool. Okay, yeah. Short sword version of a katana. That makes sense. John Collins, do you need a longer forge to make a long blade or piece by piece? So, you actually don't need a terribly long forge. This forge I have, it's actually open on both ends, so I can heat it up section by section, but if I make a longer blade, I keep it like all in one piece. I don't like to stick them together piece by piece, as it makes it a little less strong. The Buckster, yes, I have considered improving the way I dump the borax on the blade. I just am too lazy to go inside and get the stuff to do that with. Yeah. Probably should do that next, yeah. By the next live stream, I'm not making any promises, but I shall try to have a better borax dispensing method. Stop being lazy? Well, sorry.
You're not that lazy. You're making it hard.
Yeah, Buckstar. A tray full of borax would definitely work. The only tray I really have out here right now is currently full of a bunch of old knife projects I started but never finished. It's getting really close. Nothing lazy about forging? Yeah, that's kind of true. What does my quenching bucket look like? So, not very professional. It's a 5-gallon bucket full of used motor oil, which only works if you're actually quenching things, because motor oil is not as efficient as like canola oil or vegetable oil of the sorts, because it's a lot thicker. A big vertical pipe is a quench? Yes, I've seen that, and I've kind of wanted to get that. I just have not found one that'll do, but I do definitely want to get one of those someday. That could have been extremely bad. I dropped that on the propane line. I don't know what that is. But I think that was because I had probably some air bubbles in it, because I don't think it was terribly professionally done. So I think there's some air bubbles that are popping out, making some of that pops. Yeah, a steel bucket would be a whole lot better. I have one, but it's a little bit, it's like that tall, not very long, not terribly long. I'm making you nervous. Yeah, well, that was a little bit sketchy. What type of oil do I quench with? So currently I'm quenching with used motor oil that I got from a farm I work at from time to time, which is not ideal, and it is the type of oil you only want to quench thinner blades in. On occasion I've quenched in vegetable oil, which is pretty much a standard non-professional quenching oil that you use for whatever, for the thicker blades. Yeah. Made a huge hole in the bottom. I did catch one of my buckets on fire one time. Well, it had oil in it, so like the oil was on fire and the bucket rim was also on fire. It was kind of melting down. Yeah. Don't let my piece touch the side of the plastic bucket. That's definitely recommended. Yeah, a lid for the bucket. I didn't think about that. That would have been really smart. A cool spearhead? That would be... Yeah. That would be a really big spearhead. I guess I could make more than one thing out of this. That is also a possibility. How about some gloves, Matthew? So I do have a reason. So I have these gloves right here. But the problem is with the gloves, when I'm, first off, they have holes. But also, when I'm forging, scale will get in between the gloves and the hand. These are too small. But we'll get in between the gloves and the hand, and we'll trap it in there, and it'll burn into my hand. So I have like a couple scars on the back of this hand where that happened. So that's why I don't wear gloves. Hello, Carmen. Yes, gloves are very annoying to wear. Yes, you do eventually get tough skin if you just work this barehanded. Definitely. Oh, okay, Highland, that's cool. You're from Germany. I've never been there, but I like Germany a little bit. I don't know a lot about it, but what am I doing? I am forging cable wire Damascus. So I took a piece of this, probably about this long, and now I'm just forge welding it together so I can make a cool twisted Damascus looking blade of some sorts. Don't need gloves. That's what the tongs are for. Just don't grab the white hot metal with your bare hands. That's what the tools are for. Valid. Yeah. That's actually a really great thing to have, Buckster. Definitely being able to straighten tools like that. What's that in the furnace? Being able to straighten tools just on your own, just like easy like that, it's definitely very convenient to be able to do yourself. Hello back to the UK. Okay, I'll see you later. Presses, maybe? Greetings to Russia as well. A lot of my viewers are actually from Russia. Actually, the highest percentage of my viewers come from Russia. Which is actually surprising because I'm an American. I'm being completely safe, y'all. I'm gonna cut off the end of one of these and see if it actually took the weld. Wait, what am I doing? I should put this in the press. We have people here from Brazil, Canada, Germany again. Thank you all for joining. What state am I located in? Well, I guess you can't exactly find me with that, but I'm in Indiana. Yep, Indiana is my home state. Well, yeah, not my birth state, but my home state. Indonesia, nice to see one of you guys. Michigan, that's closer, that's a whole lot closer. No, because I'm going to continue forging. We're going to cut the end off of it, and this time, see, I'm being smart. I see some sketchy stuff going on in the end of that. Let us review what I see. But first off, I'm going to read the comments that I missed. What am I making? I am making a cable wire Damascus. Respirator, gloves. Had the respirator, didn't have the gloves. Hello from back to Russia. It is not iron. It is cable wire Damascus. So it's a high carbon steel. So I did not use my press to actually forge anything, but I do use it to like clamp things this way. It is too slow to actually forge stuff with. Oh, respirator is more important than gloves. Got that. Yeah, I didn't see the greater than sign. What am I doing, Bob? I am forging cable wire Damascus. The last move with the grinder was a bad one because you some kind of injury. Nope, I'm fine. Did not get hurt. I did not use it to punch holes, the press. I use it just to clamp stuff, like hold stuff in place, just like a vise would do. I did not make the press myself, no. I didn't. So, here's what's going on with our Damascus. Maybe. Can you see in there? The middle section has not been welded. Let's see if I can smash it a lot harder, maybe? Is this hot? See if we can get that to close up. I'm not 100% sure, though. We'll see what happens. But we're gonna need more flux. I am going to square. I'm going to make a square, yes. More pressure to weld the middle, yes. That's what I'm going to try next. So, Buckster. So actually, I cut this apart, cleaned it up, and I took out all the plasticky polyester type stuff in there. So I made sure it was just steel, just cable steel before I actually went and tried to go weld it. Franklin, hello, thank you for joining the stream. I did degrease it, yes. That may be a possibility to try to press it, but not 100% sure if it's going to work. I will see though. I'm going to try to get it really hot, extra hot this time, and just try to smash together with the hammer. Maybe even probably the bigger hammer. I think I'm going to start trying to square it out more because I feel like squaring it out would be able to put more pressure in the center than actually circle rounding. I could be wrong though. Yeah. We're going to see what happens, y'all. I left it out of the forge for a good while, so now it's cooled back down. So it's going to take a little bit. Yes, no. If the hammering does not work, I will try the press. Yeah. A manual hydraulic press is definitely far from a power hammer, but I do not have a power hammer. I just have these hammers. Although, I'm not 100% sure how to make one, but I'm planning on making a forge press. So, wish me luck on that. John Colin, really cool hobby I have. Ever consider melting metal? So I have thought about it and I have tried once. Let me show you. Okay, so here's what I tried to melt. I cast this copper ingot. So I tried to cast some copper, but I wasn't able to get it hot enough, so I had all these pockets and just place where it's into. So I heated it up and forge welded the rest of the way. But so these were cables, no wires, but I don't know. I just don't really have a hot enough forge for actually melting like steel. Yeah, aluminum is very easy to cast. If you don't, you just got to make sure, because when you cast it, it kind of like the middle sinks in when it cools down. And we're gonna let it heat up extra hot this time. John Collins, you're welcome. Samuel, hello. Garage door's getting it a little bit warm. Oh, Buckster. I did not know why I did that. I didn't know it expanded and shrunk that much. I knew that. I think all metals, I could be wrong, so don't quote me on this, but I knew at least most metals would expand and shrink. But I didn't know aluminum would do that much. Okay, how long does the bottle last me? I have a 5-gallon tank of propane, and it may last me around 4 or 5 hours. Yeah. I'm gonna add a text poll because I don't do this very often. There we go. Started a text poll. Are you a blacksmith? Mainly off grid. Hello. Hello again. Oh, aluminum shrinks by 7% by volume? That's actually quite insane. Okay, yeah. Carpenters are really cool. I started with woodworking like that, but I never really liked it, so I moved over to blacksmithing. Huh. Mainly off grid, thank you. Oh, that metal is getting hot. Rosie, hello. I think that's your name. I'm not sure though. Also, another reason I don't wear a respirator in here is mainly because that respirator I have over there is a little bit hard to breathe through, so it doesn't let me breathe freely. Okay, Buckster, that is actually really great. I like to expand my ability to do things. It is fun for me to try and experiment with things, like different skills, because I just like hands-on stuff. It's this close to being done. Plywoods, that's really cool actually. I do not have a heat treating kiln, but that is actually, or heat treating oven, that's actually insane. So I've had this mask for about 2 years and I've never once replaced the filters on it. That probably could be the problem and I should try that. Okay, yeah, good ventilation. I have moderately good ventilation in here. I have the box fan over here blowing air to what my theory was, blow the air out, I think. But maybe that's not how it works. Also, I'm going to show you guys something I've been working on, something I just finished. It's a knife that I just finished. Well, this is heating up. But first off, let me read the comments. Oh, okay, Anthony, I will keep that in mind. Okay, put the fan in the doorway and have it blow in. I will do that. Okay, smart. I will put that there. Okay, and I will change the filters. Clean air is being pumped into the garage. Yeah, Highwoods, the heat treating oven is definitely something that I should be getting into as well. I've definitely guessed what temperature my blades are and quenched them and got them way wrong before, so I will definitely be getting one. I'm very glad, very, very glad you have one. If if I put the fan a little bit in front or a little bit behind the doorway, I'll get better airflow. It's a cool physics. In fact, I'm not 100% sure what that means. I think the fan is a little bit in front of the door. Okay, Buckster, I will change the filters. Also, it's hot enough, so let's weld this. Let's actually use this round one. Definitely feel good about that one. Let's put it back in and do it again. Fast moving air sucks in more air with it. So, is this right? Just in front of the door, or should I put it somewhere else? HDF, hello. Thanks for joining the stream. Also, give it like 2 feet out, like inwards or outside? Okay, I am forging cable wire Damascus inside the garage. Okay. Like 3 feet inside the door now. Also, I noticed, is my Wi-Fi bad or something? Because I noticed there's a really big drop in viewership. We're down to 60 now. We're just gonna let that heat way back up and just repeat what we just did. Slightly better that way? Okay, what tong shapes do I prefer to use? I have a few different types of tongs. I have these ones. Don't ask me what they're called, I don't remember. But I like these tongs best for holding most material. But for smaller things, when I'm working on smaller things, these are the universal wolf jaw tongs. These work great as well. And then for flat things where none of my other tongs work, I have these, which are a pair of handmade flat-headed tongs, which also work pretty good. What's my name? I am Peter. My name is Peter. And actually, it's also on YouTube already, so I am Peter Branch. People want to see the forging? Yeah. Wi-Fi is good? That's good. Whoa. guys, I just realized, look at this. We went over 700 subscribers. Thank you very much for that. Hey, Daniel. Okay, I actually, surprisingly, I have a brother named Daniel. He's my younger brother. He's a lot shorter than me, but I do have a brother named Daniel. That's kind of really cool. How long have I been practicing? I've been forging things for about 2 years, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think it was something around 2 years. I think the metal's probably hot enough to forge now. And yes, I think the fan may be blowing more air, and I can't tell completely, but I think it might be. Let's smash some metal. Bro, that landed in my ear. Very possibly a solid chunk of steel. It kind of feels like it. So I kind of wanted to show you guys. This is the last knife I made. It has a shiny handle. Ignore the sheath. I've never made a sheath before. But basically, has a twisted Damascus blade, a brass finger guard, and a shiny stabilized burl handle. HDF, what is my earning in one day? So I'm not actually have a full business yet, so my earnings are not measured by day yet, but it's very low at the moment, mainly because I've only recently started actually trying to sell knives, and I'm trying with YouTube to build a community of people that know about me enough that they'll be willing to buy knives. Okay, so this is the one that took me the longest time. John Collins. This one took me about 30 hours, which is not insane for what a lot of bladesmiths do. But probably the ones that took me the shortest time was probably a bunch of the railroad spike knives I've done. Probably about 2 hours. Not the forging, but the whole process. Nugs. I've watched a bunch of old smiths, and they do things in between hitting the piece of metal where they bounce it off the anvil. Is there any reason you don't do that? Are you using a specific technique? So I don't know about the whole bouncing the metal off the anvil. That's very possibly just either for YouTube show or to knock the scale off the outside. But I don't think there's anything important there about that, so no, I just try to forge weld it. Yeah, yes, hand stitch nether is the same. My country name? I live in the United States, if that's what you're asking. Thank you, John Collins. Oh, okay, I see what you mean now. I thought you meant they bounced the steel off the anvil. So yes, the anvil is bouncy, although I do not have a steel-topped anvil. I have just a pure cast iron anvil, so it's way less bouncy. But actually, when you hit the steel, it does bounce back a little bit. And if you take the time to drop your steel and then bounce on your anvil, you are actually losing just a little bit more energy that way than as if you just went down and up again. That knife looks very nice. Thank you very much, Highwoods. Or Daniel, I believe. It is hot in here, guys. I wish I had a little thermostat so I could see. I do not have a sword, but this would be the closest thing to a sword I have. It's an elven short sword, which is not really a sword, but this is the closest thing I've gotten to making a sword. Okay, so Buckster, the elven piece is actually just regular. I made it out of a leaf spring, and then I just polished it up on the wheel. It's not chrome and it's not stainless steel. And look, about 1/3 of the people who've answered the text poll are blacksmiths. That's great to hear. My voice is starting to be stripped because of how much I've been talking. How am I keeping it from resting? The answer to that is it just isn't resting. I don't get it wet, I keep it dry, it just isn't resting. So on some of the blades, like this Damascus one, I rubbed oil on it, and it was actually just coconut oil, like that regular stuff that you cook with. Well, not all people cook with it, but some people, it was just coconut oil, and I rubbed it on the blade, rubbed it as much as I could into the blade. But for this piece, I have not done anything special. I just buffed it on the wheel, and buffed it on the buffing wheel, and just made it, just dried it off. Thank you, John Collins. Not 100% sure, but I think it's a solid piece. Let's cut off the end again and see what we find out. I could be wrong though. Let me move the press over here so you guys can see better. Everything is so hot around this porch. Wait. There's more messages. The air where I live must be a lot more humid than where you live. Anything I leave in the garage will rust. Yes, Buckster, sometimes some of my stuff I leave in the garage does, but I do wrap it in a towel to try to pull as much moisture away as possible. Oh, hardwoods. I actually did not know that. That's an interesting... I did not know polishing would help with the rust level. Hello, Mary. Hello, Ahmad. What type of price tag would I put on that large shiny blade? The Elven blade, I'm assuming? I'm assuming you're talking about the Elven blade. So, probably about 150, probably, maybe 200. But, yeah. Probably about 150 to 200. Yeah, so I didn't know the fingerprints would rust it. Also, sweat is salty, which also helps corrode stuff. So I do, every time I touch it, like now after the stream, I'm gonna clean it and put it back. Sold that 150. But yeah, that's a 350 blade all day. Thank you, Colin. Oh, I forgot what we were doing. We're gonna cut this now. Guys, bad news. Look, something is happening. The stump my thing is on is catching on fire. It is way too hot. I've never run the forge this hot for this long. I guess we're gonna have to temporarily shut that off. Man, that is hot in there. Yes. We will see if the extra heat and hammering got rid of all the imperfections. I gotta change the wheel, it's too small. Oh. I just dropped my angle grinder on the ground. Smoldering log being blown on a fan was funny. Yeah, it kind of was. She's still burning? Yeah, she definitely is. Have I heard of a blacksmith? I don't know how to read that. Okay, I will look that up. Okay, we are going to finish cutting this open, see what happened to the inside, and then I'm going to end the stream directly after that. So we are almost done, guys. I need to get a tool to take this off with. Yes, I know I'm not wearing glasses right now, so I probably look a little bit weird. New wheel. Also, if any of you guys are interested, I do have an Etsy shop. So if you go on Etsy and you look up PB Blacksmithing as a shop name, you will find me there with some of the knives that I make on YouTube also on there as well. So that recent Damascus knife I just showed you guys will be on there in less than a week probably. Let's see what happens. My sister is calling, but I have to refuse because I'm streaming now. Hey. Didn't look at it very closely, but it looks like it's hopeful. Let's see what happened. Okay, so okay, y'all. Bad things. bad things. There's a light behind me. Let me get it where you guys can see it. Okay, so as you can see, it looks mostly solid, but if you look closely, there's a bunch of ends that are not connected in there. Like a bunch of ends. Maybe if I just, again, try to smash it again with a lot of extra heat. Maybe if I just try to smash it with a lot of extra heat and a lot more power, I'll get it. Also, if I can move fast enough, I'll probably try the press thing, the press idea, maybe if I can't get it the other way. Okay, before I end this live stream, let me make sure I have all the comments that I read. I have my forge on a stainless steel rolling table from the website Vevor for about $90. Oh, I've heard of Vevor. Do you guys see something? I broke my grinding wheel when I put the grinder down. Whoops. I have something from Vevor, but I can't remember what I have from Vevor. Wilson, hello. It's a stainless steel rolling table for kitchen use on the Vevor website. Okay, I actually shall take note of that. That sounds extremely useful. You want to see how burnt the log is. There we go. I will show you how burnt the log is. Oh my goodness. Get off the camera. Yeah, here is the new edition. Yeah, it's still on fire. Ouch, that was hot. Ouch, that was also hot. Ouch. Yeah. I have a new smoking forge. I should probably hose that down. But anyways, I'm going to end this stream very soon. If you have any last minute questions, go ahead and ask. Also, if you haven't already and you did enjoy this stream, if you could subscribe, that'd be great. And I'll probably start up a next stream if I decide to continue working on this project. It's making noises. This thing right here was making tinking noises, which I did not like. I don't know. But if I decided to do it, I'll probably decide to do another stream on this. I'll probably just stream this entire process, to be honest. So if you want to see that, definitely go to subscribe. But until then, thank you guys for joining the stream.